Who knew?
Hello.
Hello,
everybody.
once again. We're going to still coming live again. And Mark, now if you see the new live feed, go in and type in your comment at the bottom. Mark Robertson from
Pensacola
Florida
Bay Brewery.
Yeah. And we'll try to bring you in again.
Let's see.
Mark. Anyway, it's Kira Peterson and Randy Weckerly coming to you from high atop the Geneva Towers here. Miss Kira, are we keeping you up today?
I did not sleep well last night.
How come?
So I just couldn't sleep. I was too excited for today.
I know it. It's going to be a big day. We've got a lot of interviews today. We've got a lot to do. Got to talk with our writers. Yeah, it's really crazy.
I got it right. You got it right.
Call him down there again and have him refresh his page. See if that's what it takes. Now go ahead, talk up. You can do good.
Hi, Mark. It's Kira. Do you see the new live video at all on Libation? Then just refresh your page, and then we're live right now. So when you refresh it, you'll see a new live video that will pop up. And then when you see it, you can just write hello, and we'll try to bring you back in. Okay, awesome. Do you want me to just stay on the line with you, or just...
That might be a problem being on the line.
All right, we'll just hang up, and then if we... Pardon me? Oh, now we see you. Mark, I'm going to hang up so we can see, we can try a video chat.
Yeah, we saw your chat. Here we go.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see it.
Bring Mark on camera.
Mark on camera.
Adding Mark. Oh, we're getting close, Miss Kira.
We're
this will
almost
be awesome.
there.
Awesome.
Oh, we did.
Wait a minute. Hey.
Okay.
Top a top, big guy. Thank you for your perseverance. We did it. It's awesome.
Right
on. Sorry about the confusion.
It's all her fault. It's not my fault.
Not always my fault.
That's
it's
awesome.
Technology's fault.
Yeah. Anyway.
You got the logo in the back.
Awesome.
No, it looks great. Very, very, very good. Anyway, with us today, finally, after all our technical issues, I'm going to just scoot her out of there.
Okay, here, you guys.
No, you come on.
I'm just kidding.
They'd rather talk to Miss Kira other than Uncle Randy. Anyway, joining us today is Mark Robertson from Pensacola, Florida.
For the Pensacola
Bay Brewery.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know it. Well, in the back, and the thing, Mark, I got to ask you about this right up front. It says on your website, we're a city of pirates, conquistadors, fishermen, and fighter pilots who demand beer as strong, as complex as we are. Now, were you all of those? And I'd like to hear about your conquistador life.
No, that was just kind of a summation of the town's history, basically.
Yeah, well, it's
I have not been a pilot or a conquistador. I've been an electronic technician, and now I'm a brewer.
So he didn't mention pirate. So apparently he is a pirate.
we all got some pirate in us.
Exactly.
That's very true.
Well, tell us your story, Mark. Obviously, you're in Pensacola. That's up in the Panhandle area, or down? No, it's down low, isn't it? Southern part of Florida.
No, we're in the Panhandle. We're about 60 miles away from Mobile, Alabama. So a lot of people call us Lower Alabama because of our proximity to Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi, whereas the rest of the state becomes more cosmopolitan south of Gainesville. Different.
Yeah, you're sort of due south of Wisconsin.
Straight south. Actually, I've been to 2 courses that the MBAA teaches up at University of Wisconsin, Madison. It's pretty much a straight drive up.
Yeah, go right up 65 or 85 or whatever it is. It goes through I can't remember which, but I used to play a lot of golf at Callaway Gardens in Pine Mountain, Georgia, which is a beautiful spot. But down where you're at, how long have you been in this? How did you get into it? And it looks like quite an operation that you have going on through the video in your website. Tell us about your history and what you're doing now.
Well, my history, my background in brewing is I came back from Europe in the mid 80s and went on a vacation actually up to Wisconsin to the Milwaukee area, which is where my wife's family's from. And we went to Lakefront Brewery and I learned about craft beer there and found a homebrew shop right there in Milwaukee. I'm not sure if they're still in business, the Purple Foot. And she mailed all the stuff to my house in Mississippi, and I started brewing back in '86. And then I kept doing that while I had a career in electronics. And then when I got close to retirement age, I decided that the beer business would be a good thing to do. So I got involved with some guys, and we're in it. And
Wow. So I'm sorry.
we've been open now. We'll be open 8 years in November.
Wow.
So we started
My
the whole
goodness.
idea in June or July of 2009, and it took us that many months to put it all together, find a brewery, buy it, bring it here, install it, and then get going.
Wow, that's quite a remarkable story, and that is right out our back door. We're at Lake Geneva, so we're only about 45 minutes from Milwaukee, and the intent of what we're trying to do is, what we call, Rob, if you remember talking to Rob, he invented the verbiage this past month, the Great Wisconsin Migration, that begins with us going. Weather gets cold here. We had such a tough winter. We're going to be focusing on Great Florida Stories for 4 months in our magazine. We want a lot of focus on it because we had such a terrible winter here this last year.
It was way too long.
It was way too long, and 2 weeks from now we could have our first frost. So
we have quite a bit of people from the Great Lakes region come down here and winter over. So it's kind of interesting to see them all every year when they come back.
And your weather there is a little bit mild too. I mean, you do get a few cold days, but not for any length of time.
No, we've seen the teens, we've seen ice and snowstorms, but no, it doesn't last very long at all. We, for the most part, wear a hoodie when we go outside.
No, that's terrible.
That sounds like my kind of weather.
Horrible. Just know what to do and all that. Yeah. Hoodies to us is is 20 below day. But I love the names of your beers. You've got the Conquistador, you brought that, Blackbeard, DeSoto, Little Napoleon,
Lighthouse.
You guys must have had some fun with the names.
Well, we hired a PR firm, and we had a few of the names already when that I made up and my partner made up, and then we hired a PR firm to kind of put together a theme for us, and we chose the maritime ones, hence the ship logo. And a lot of those people that we named beers after had nothing to do with America, like Little Napoleon. But if you look at the label for Little Napoleon, he's sitting on a horse facing away. So you can imagine that as any person that's got that complex.
I just found out, just as an aside, doesn't mean anything, but Napoleon ended his last days on an isolated island that he had no chance of escaping from. I had no idea. I just learned that a couple of weeks ago on some little thing I was watching on TV. So yeah, that's very, very cool.
They actually believe that the second time they locked him up on the island, the British slowly poisoned him with arsenic.
Oh, yeah, actually, wow. I heard that. That was part of the documentary that I was watching. So had no idea. Had done a lot of history over when we were in France. But that's second. Let's talk about you. So do you have big events at your brewery that, tell us about the brewery. Do you have events there? Or are you in distribution nationally, or what are you doing?
We're mostly locally distributed because we're small. We're only doing around 3,000 barrels a year because our place is so small. So we focus on the Pensacola market and a little bit of lower Alabama, the coastal communities to our west. We're from the Perdido River, which is the state border to the west, to the Apalachicola River, which is kind of divides straight down below Tallahassee. So we're only really in the Panhandle because of our capacity. So we're locally distributed. We package 3 products: the Little Napoleon, the Riptide Amber, and the Lighthouse Porter. The rest is all draft. In our brewery, at this moment, we have 22 beers on tap and our own root beer. We have one guest tap of cider. We have three large events here every year that our brewery sits right in the middle of: the Greater Gulf Coast Arts Festival, which is in early fall, and then the Pensacola Seafood Festival, which is coming up the end of August, early September, first week of September, which is a big thing for us. And then we do our own annual fundraising for our a group called the Northwest Florida Wildlife Sanctuary, where we do a concert series. We get a lot of sponsors to donate money to pay for the bands and all, and then we donate some money from our beer sales, and then we have tip jars out. We have a lot of local chefs show up and cook a bunch of fun food for donations, and all that money goes straight to the wildlife sanctuary. And today we've raised about $25,000 for them, so it's pretty awesome.
Wow, that is so cool.
Well, I don't know if you've done the research, but my parent company that I started with is called Live Eco Style. And basically it was a lot of research into eco-minded lifestyle and nature preservation. My grandfather was a naturalist and raised that way. So it's really important work in preserving the world around us and giving back. And that's a big part of what we're doing on our liveecostyle.com website. But Links Libations is really basically trying to help people understand where to go. They play a little golf, and, golfers golf, then they sip, and, they go out and they have a nice dinner, and they like to, guys that when they're doing the buddy trip, or, couples when they're in their RVs, we became the platform nationally by just growing our business and working with the state leaders. And Sean Nordquist down there is a good friend. And anyway, he helped us highlight what we could be doing in the state and bring a highlight through what we call our platform. So what we want you to do is that if you have events coming up and we want to highlight your awareness, the money that you're trying to raise money for, and they're in our magazine coming out in September, October, November, through January, going to be highlighting Florida and segmenting it. And if you have friends in your area that you'd like us to visit with and talk about that money raising, all you have to do is send us an email. We'll get you back on and try to give you a lot of exposure with that. So we just want to be your friend. Yeah, it'd be really good.
We recently got involved in another charity that supports disabled veterans access to their homes. The Veterans Administration can't keep up, so this group
right.
this group of this guy that owns his own construction company over there. He has an organization called Guns to Hammers, and he started building access to people for these veterans for free, and he was overwhelmed by the need. So we're growing it organically and locally. We're donating $1.50 of a specific beer that we sell Monday through Thursday. Every time we sell that beer, $1.50 is going to go to Guns to Hammers, in the hope that we can outfit at least one veteran every 3 months with this.
Wow.
That is so awesome.
That's great. I'll tell you what,
those guys would be worth having on your show for a little chit chat. They're pretty cool guys.
And tell us who that is again. Is that Guns and Hammers?
It's called Guns to Hammers. They have a Facebook page. J.R. Smith runs it with his business partner. Sorry, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. They're both really cool guys. They're ex-Marines. Actually, I believe they're retired Marines that just saw a need.
Well, we'll definitely, I'm writing that down right now. We'll definitely do that. Our foundation, when we finally get the final approval, we're going to be actually raising money for Golden Doodle service dogs for our veterans and kids that have had head trauma that need service dogs and emotional, that help. And Golden Doodles are some of the smartest dogs in the world, and we have actually a great association down in Florida is one of the leading trainers of service dogs. So we do a lot of work.
I might fire you off an email from a lady who just sent me a request for a fundraiser, and I'm already so involved I can't do it, but they're trying to get a service dog for their daughter who has celiacs, which I didn't know dogs could sniff that out, but apparently they can. Apparently they're not cheap. No.
A Golden Doodle, by the time it's purchased and trained and placed, it's $12,000 to $15,000.
That's what she was looking for, $15,000.
Right. Yeah, but they are wonderful, and it's personal things that have happened with us that we know that it's that important, of course. And we also are looking to do a show beginning this year, probably in the first part of next year, out of Bonita Springs with a real famous golf instructor by the name of, he's called the Golf Doctor, and he's been on ABC TV down there for about 8 years. It's Mike Calvert. And we're going to be doing a show called the Happy Hour Golf Show with famous people. But basically, it's an idea to give us some awareness, to raise money and have some fun and bring people on. It's going to be little golf, a lot of sipping, barbecuing, talking life, and as the sun goes down on our driving range, just enjoying, you know, the good things in life. So we'd hope you come down and talk about that. Did you have a question, Karen?
Yes, Mark. So with the $1.50, does it change with the beer weekly, or is it the same beer?
We're doing the same beer. We're doing the same beer weekly. It's a light American lager that I developed, kind of an homage to Coors Banquet, since I can't get it on draft over here. So we decided to go ahead and brew a beer like the big boys, and we actually made a high gravity beer and then diluted it into the bright tank. So the cost savings is there, so we're able to do this, and the beer sells well. It's summertime. It's hot. It's light and refreshing. You can drink a few of them. It's sessionable, which is a big thing now for people. They want to go somewhere and have more than one, and they don't want to get hammered. So that was part of the. Plus, it's the lightest beer that I care to make.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I have another question. This Treasure Grove beer, is it with fruit, or I saw it and I was like, ooh, that looks awesome. I want to know more about it.
Well, that's an American Pale Ale, and all the fruit flavors that are in it are derived from hops. So you have Amarillo hops that gives you tangerine. You got Cascades and Centennials that give you grapefruit. It tastes very citrusy, and we also use Citra hop in it, which is also a very citrus-oriented flavored hop. And that's where that comes from. A lot of people have accused me of using fruit in it because it does taste like that, but there's no fruit. It's actually hops. The hop farmers are going out of their way to make hops that we can make really cool products with.
I was gonna say that sounds really cool. So is it like a great summer beer then, since it's citrusy?
It's always summer down in this year.
Well, I know, but more
It's
more
pretty
hot for summer.
It's pretty popular, but our German Kolsch in our Czech Pilsner and our new original Pensacola premium lagers sell really well to the rank and file beer drinker. I mean, you got 80% of your craft beer drinkers like light beers. There's not a lot of I mean, IPA, certainly there's a following for that, but people are gravitating more towards lighter stuff on their palates, and I think that's a trend that you're going to see. And a lot of other breweries have already started. Founders came out with Solid Gold. There's a brewery down in South Florida that's doing the same thing we're doing. I don't know the exact name of the beer yet, but I was talking to their brewery the other day. He goes, "Oh yeah, we made one of those." I go, "Really?" So there's like minds thinking alike out there. So look to see craft macro American Pilsners on your shelf soon.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
So the one that fascinates me is pumpkin vanilla. That sounds like something, you know, when the fall comes up here, it's like, you know, Starbucks has pumpkin everything. So is that a fall highlight, or is that a year-round popular offering?
We brew 15 barrels of that generally in mid-September, so it's available through Halloween and hopefully gone by Christmas, because that's the flavor profile that fits the fall holidays. So our goal is to move it all by then, but it's just a porter with vanilla and nutmeg and pumpkin. And the pumpkin's very, very recognizable. I mean, how many pumpkin beers have you had that actually taste like squash? And that's what pumpkin tastes like.
Yeah, actually,
I was gonna say, I don't think I've ever had one that tasted like pumpkin.
One of the things we're going to be introducing to rate. I'm sorry.
That's cool. Most pumpkin beers are generally just pumpkin spiced beers. There's very little gourd because it's not tasteable. So you're mostly dealing with pumpkin spice beer.
One of the things we're going to be starting around the first of the year, and a little bit more information coming out, but this would be perfect for it, is that we're going to be in our investigation. If now to use repurposed oak barrels for your.
We do a barrel aged porter, and barrels are getting harder and harder to come by. So we had to deal with Angel's Envy because the master distiller there, Wesley Henderson's got a affinity for the Gulf Coast. He really likes it here, so he comes down all the time. So that's how we got that relationship going, and we've been using those barrels. But those are sherry barrels before they're used for their whiskeys. So we pick up all kind of different notes in that beer that we wouldn't get in just a regular, like a Jack Daniel's barrel. So I know I dropped a bunch of names, good, but
it's all right. What would be very cool is that, you know, if you get one that's wet and close it up in the beginning of the year, you could ship it to us. We'd fill it up with we're going to roast coffee beans, and it'll pick up that flavor, you know, of your favorite, you know, exquisite, and then we'll rebag it and put some logos on the bags, and it's a nice swag thing to put in your shop, because it'll be a coffee that'll pick up some of the flavors of what you're doing, and it's a real interesting concept that we've put a lot of time in and investigated, and we're going to be introducing it fully around the first of the year. So when I saw pumpkin, I was like, well, there you go, pumpkin vanilla coffee beer.
Yeah, well, so, I'm against putting stimulants in beer. I'm sorry to say. You want coffee in your beer, I'll make you a cup in the back and you can dump it in your beer. But now I just don't believe in it, so I don't do it.
This is more for the coffee. Yeah.
But my Blackbeard Stout and my Lighthouse Porter all have nice coffee notes that come from the malt. So.
Oh, very cool. You're already doing it. So that's all we have to do. Yeah, you're ahead of the game. Can't get ahead of Mark. That's cool.
Yeah, no,
well, listen,
you can do all kinds of things with the basic ingredients for beer. You don't have to add exotic stuff to make good beers.
Well, I'm going to leave that all up to you, and we'll come down and enjoy it, because we're not going to be here in the cold. Miss Kira and I, our company, will be here. We'll come back 10 days to visit my grandkids, but we'll send them notes the other 3 weeks of the month. I'm not going to do, my goal has always been to come to Florida, take my snowblower, tape it on the front end of my car, and when I get gas and the person says next to me says, "What's that?" I'll give it to them, and I know I'm home, because no more snow blowing for me. So, anyway, not gonna do it. I like the white beaches where you're at. That's beautiful stuff. Anyway, Mark Robertson. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Give me the information that you need for your. Miss Kira will be typing up, get squared away on this email, and we'll try to help you raise some money. And anytime you got something coming up or you want to just chit chat, we'll be coming back down and around. We want to know who in the community you're working with, because we like to, if you're there and we're featuring you in our magazine, we want to know golfers got to golf, they got to sleep, they got to eat, they got to experience the community. And when you're dealing with pirates and Napoleon and, Air Force, you got it all wrapped up with Mark. So anyway, Mark, it's been great. Sorry, go ahead.
You guys send me an email. I'll forward you the links to the Visit Pensacola people and all that. And they'll give you a super insight of what's going on around here.
That is perfect. We'll do it, and do that immediately. And I'll have Miss Kira do that immediately when we're done here.
Yes.
So, Mark, thank you very much. It's really great. Wonderful.
Thank you, Mark.
You're a jewel and a gem to talk with. We'll be back. I learned a lot about. Never heard of pumpkin beer.
I've never tried,
right.
This treasure grove. I'm excited to go down there.
All righty. Talk to you later, Mark. Appreciate it. What you can do with this on your Facebook page, we'll send you the link. Share it on your Facebook page. It'll go all the people that are following you, and they'll have a lot of fun. Every month, we'll ship you a link to our free Links Libations magazine, and then once a week to our Links Libation podcast, which follow the golf and sipping world. And basically, we just have fun, So, anyway, be sure to stay in touch, and we'll get you in the magazine and have you come on our Links Libations podcast show. That's a lot of fun too. So
Right on.
we'll talk to you soon. All right, thanks, Mark. We'll talk to you soon.
Have a
Let's have
good
a
one, Mark.
day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.